Hello and welcome to this episode of Park Views with Brad Hughes. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Views with Hughes. That's Hughes. You can also check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Daily Disney Blog. Please rate and review the show on iTunes and Stitcher. And you can also comment over on Libsyn. With all that being said, thank you for downloading this episode, and I hope you enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to kind of a hybrid episode here of Park Views with Brad Hughes / Jedi Talk. Hello, I am your host here, Brad Hughes, and we are doing this on a kind of rainy night in Orlando, and I'm looking out the window and I can see the Happily Ever After fireworks going off, so that should give you kind of an indication of what time of the night we are recording this. And we were recording this 2 days after we went to a cast member preview of Galaxy's Edge, and that's what this episode is going to be all about. So, before we get into the show, just warning, spoilers are ahead for anything Galaxy's Edge. So if you want to go into this with a clean slate, I highly recommend you not listening to the episode, because we're going to give away everything that has happened. Did you hear that in the headphones?
Yeah.
We're going to give away everything from Galaxy's Edge at Walt Disney World. So this is a little different than the one that I did when I came back from the one at Disneyland. So let's go. So 3, 2, 1, boom. If you're listening to this point, it's on you. We were able to go to a cast member preview of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios. And the group was you, me, Sean, a friend of mine, and Kevin Perger of Defunctland, and we all four of us got to go. We met up with another friend of mine named Chris later on in the evening. We'll get to that in just a moment, but before we dig deep into this, I wanted to get your overall impressions of the land. Before you say that, what we're going to do on this episode is we're going to kind of go through the map that they gave us at the preview, and kind of go number by number here, in no particular order. We're going to try to save the big stuff for last because it's obviously the bigger stuff. But I wanted to get your overall impressions of the land going into this, because you live with me. You have to hear me talk about Galaxy's Edge all the time. What did you think overall of the land?
Can you just tell them, first of all, what the kind of day it was that we were?
Yeah, okay, so the day we went, it was a very strange day in Florida where it rained. Now, I know if you live in Florida, you're laughing right now like, haha, it rains every day. Yes, it rains every day for a few minutes every day. But this was an onslaught of rain from like noon on, and it drove me insane because we were like so looking forward to this, but it rained the entire time. I don't mean like just a little bit of rain, I mean a lot of rain. So go ahead, tell people what your overall impressions were.
So when we first walked into the land, it was definitely overwhelming. It was a lot bigger than I expected it to be, because they're saying it's only 2-3 acres bigger than Pandora, and this was massive. The first thing I did when I walked in, I just wanted to look around and see everything, which was kind of hard when you're holding a golf umbrella. So I definitely can't wait to go back when it's not raining. And I'm sad that we couldn't see any of the shows, none of the characters.
Yeah? I didn't do anything.
I can't. Okay, there we go. None of the characters were out and about walking around. They didn't do the Kylo Ren First Order show where he comes off of what's the name of the ships? You don't.
The TIE Echelon.
The TIE Echelon. So that definitely kind of dampened the experience, but you could see where $1 billion went. Yeah.
Off the bat, if you don't know this, it is the exact same concept at Disneyland.
Is it the same size?
Ours is a little bit bigger. There are certain things that I'll get into in a little bit that I think factor into more operational things. I'll get to that in a little bit once we go through like kind of our walkthrough of how we went through the land. But yeah, it's pretty much the same size. Like that's why I said it feels so strange at Disneyland, because Disneyland, you walk into the castle, it's a tiny castle and tiny little corridors, tiny walkways. Then you get to Galaxy's Edge and it's these sprawling, massive walkways.
It doesn't even, like you said it when you were leaving at Disneyland, it doesn't feel like you're in a park. Like, no. It feels like you're in its own world, and there's so many.
It has totally changed immersion.
Yeah, you walk back into Hollywood Studios, you're like on Grand Avenue, like
what?
Oh, we're back here now.
You forget that you're there. It's very, very strange.
And just the detail in this land compared to any other land in any of the 4 parks here is just incredible.
What's better than anything even at Universal? Like, people talk about how good the Harry Potter stuff is, and I personally think the Harry Potter stuff is a little cheesy.
But we're not Harry Potter people.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not a Cars Land fan. Or Cars fan. I don't think that Cars
Harry
Land
Potter's
does that.
incredibly well done.
I like Harry Potter more than I like Cars. How about that?
Really?
Yes, 100%.
And this,
But I love Cars Land. I think Cars Land has done better than Harry Potter too.
Yeah, and for all of you purple wall lovers, for whatever reason, there's plenty of walls in Batu Galaxy's Edge. Some cooler than any of the others, to be honest.
Kevin tweeted that out when we were at Galaxy's Edge. Everyone's hunting for Insta walls, and that wasn't a joke. That was a real thing that was happening.
There was people there for this preview
that were just there taking photos. Yep.
Like one girl was pretending to climb up the stairs. Another guy was sitting at the fountain, his friend was sitting on the floor, on the ground across from him, and he was sitting on this bench and just pretending to look into the distance. And these people had their makeup done, their hair done, just to do these.
There is nothing I hate more,
quote unquote, candid photos
than candid photos,
fake
quote unquote candid photos. There's nothing I hate more because you're pretending that a moment happened that didn't happen, that is supposed to be a real moment that you have while you're there.
That's what makes them
That's
good.
What makes it's cheesy and corny, and everyone knows it's a faux candid photo.
Oh my!
Faux candid photo. Hashtag faux candid photo. Especially if you're a dude, like if you're a guy and you're doing that, I have zero respect for you as a man. I don't care.
Yeah.
You can at me if you want. Fake candid photos are nonsense. I'm not saying don't take a good photo while you're there, but pretending you're looking off into the distance. And this goes for anywhere.
Like a normal photo,
take a
like we
fucking
did.
Picture. Who cares?
Right. Like
Drives me nuts.
My friend just happened to be laying on the ground across from me and taking my
happened
photos.
To be
like
in the
come on.
rain and laying in a puddle. Like, get out of here. It's so ridiculous. So I will say off the jump, I noticed a pretty big difference in Disneyland's versus Disney World's Galaxy's Edge. The first one being when we walked in through the tunnel. The tunnel is a tunnel, which doesn't happen at Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge.
What is it at Disneyland?
You kind of go under the railroad tracks.
But it's a lot shorter.
So let me back up a little bit. There are 3 entrances at Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. The first one, I'm numbering them in the order that we kind of went through them. The first one is over by the Hungry Bear.
Okay.
And you kind of go behind that, and then you kind of go down this like little trail under the train tracks, and then you're there. And you kind of go into think about the way we went in, but
so that would have been the Hungry Bear entrance?
Yes, what's the bar we like? Why can't I think of the name?
Baseline?
Baseline is on the other side of the road, and you're walking past it.
Okay.
Pretty much how it is. And you walk through, and there's no tunnel. You just are into the Resistance Forest right by the A-Wing. So same exact thing. You go in there. Once you walk through, so that's the first entrance. The other one would be...
You couldn't really see the Toy Story one. They had that blocked off pretty far up into the land.
But that's our other entrance, which is interesting because there's another entrance at Disneyland. So that's the middle entrance. And at Disneyland, it's kind of by Big Thunder Mountain.
And it looked like that one was pretty long, too, because they blocked it pretty far up.
And that one's the one by Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And then there's the last one, which puts you out right by the Thai Echelon. That's an entrance at Disneyland.
Where is that into the park?
You know Kylo Ren shuttle?
Yeah.
That building or that door that was
where that flag was up there?
And I was
that's an entrance?
Yes, that's an entrance at Disneyland.
And this looked like a backstage
and that's by Fantasyland.
Mm-hmm.
So it's...
Dumps you into Fantasyland at Disneyland? How
right
weird.
Around the corner from the BR, whatever, that Red Rose...
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
How weird.
Yeah, it's very strange. So ours only has the 2. They have the one by Hungry Bear or by Muppets, and then there's the one on the other side of the park, which I thought was going to be by the Thai Echelon. It's not. It's the middle entrance, which I thought was crazy. Which we'll get to what's there in a second. But as you walk in, I already started to notice differences. Like the pathways were a little bit wider.
That's
the
everything at Disneyland, though.
Huh?
That's everything at Disneyland is so much more narrow than here.
So as you go around the corner, you round the corner, you see the A-Wing, and there's an X-Wing on the opposite side here at Disney World. At Disneyland, the X-Wing and the A-Wing are right next to each other, which I kind of like that it's spread out. It kind of annoys me as well. I don't know. I like having both of them sitting there next to each other because it's like a cool moment where you walk up to it and like, holy crap, it's an A-Wing and an X-Wing. I feel like you could kind of walk past the X-Wing at our Galaxy's Edge. It's not like right in front of your face.
I didn't notice it at first.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Because it kind of blended into the...
Which is awesome, but it also kind of stinks because you notice the A-Wing, right?
You don't see the Rise of the Resistance entrance at all if you're not looking too.
Nope. Which I love. It's not marked. It's great. There's no...
It fits the
like
theme.
you go to Flight of Passage and it's like this amazing
Yeah.
facade, but there's still like the sign
Yes.
Flight of Passage.
And a couple of the things that I wish we didn't breeze past, but again, it was like sideways
It was
raining.
sideways raining, yeah.
Was
and we had to
where-
get to our Sabi's thing, which we'll get to.
Like what would you call that? The corral where it had the different ships in there, like where they had the mechanic droid working on, like the
Oh yeah,
speeder.
yeah. Oh, you're talking about once we
Yeah,
get into
yeah,
it. Yeah. But yeah, what do you think about the Resistance Forest area?
That was when we first walked in.
Yeah, that's like the nickname for it. It's not like I don't think it's an official thing that they're calling it. I don't see that anywhere.
I thought it was weird they were selling Rise of the Resistance merchandise.
I'm gonna buy one of those shirts when I go back next week.
But I like that you came into that kind of forest, felt natural area.
Now, when I came back and told you that it felt like two separate areas, and you were like, "Really? Don't you feel like it feels like two separate areas?"
I feel like it's a natural flow, though. It's not this.
No, it's not
like,
jarring.
Right.
It fits in, but it feels like
It
two
feels
separate
like you
areas.
discover this village in the middle of a forest.
Yeah, but like it totally fits in. But do you see what I mean? Like it feels like two distinct parts of the land.
Yeah, like two different little towns,
yeah,
maybe.
two different little areas. It's not like okay, this part's this thing and this part's the other thing. It blends in, but
Yeah.
like it definitely feels separated.
It's so funny how in the Rise of the Resistance forest area, like you could see buildings in the distance, but there's no buildings really. And then you go to the other area, and it's just like boom, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. It feels like a little city.
Does. So I walked you around the entire entrance or the entire walkway through the bazaar. I passed the bazaar. I walked through it and I was like, do not look to your left. I don't want you to see the Millennium Falcon until we get there. And I walked you through all the way around by the blue milk stand. We actually stopped there and got a blue milk.
Which I couldn't look anyway with the rain.
Yeah, it was. But like I wanted you to get the grand reveal of the
Yes,
Falcon. I actually
yes,
made
yes,
you look
yes.
at the ground and walk so you could see
I like
it in
that it
all
was
its glory.
hidden. Like if I had been looking to the left, could I have seen it clearly?
That's how I saw it for the first time, and it
Really?
ruined it for me.
Oh, I felt like it
Not
would have
okay.
been hidden.
It didn't ruin it for me, but I wish I'd have seen it from the base like you did, where I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, that was definitely a lot more grand.
So the first stop was the Blue Milk, over in the not bazaar area, like the marketplace area, I guess what you call
The
it.
First Order by his shuttle.
By the First Order Thai Echelon, it was the blue and green milk. Here at Disney World, they're a little more relaxed on alcohol than they are at Disneyland, which is one of the reasons why I'm glad that we have this version of it.
Yeah.
Because the blue and green milk here, you can order with or without alcohol. There's a substantial price difference. It's about $8 more if you want alcohol.
Yeah.
But I think that the rum that I had in the blue milk adds a flavor profile to the blue milk that I like a lot better than just the regular blue milk. I didn't try the green one. I'm going to try the green one next week when I go, and I'll be able to report back and see which one I like better. But I really, really liked it. Now, I didn't try the blue milk at Disneyland. I tried it at the Galactic Nights event, and it's the same recipe. They were testing it that night. They told us that
See,
specifically.
I hated it at Galactic Nights, but with the rum, I loved it. Like I
It's
could
not
have
bad.
drank a full one of those.
Now, here's the thing. People are going to be like, why would I want blue milk in August in Florida? It's not milk. It is like
It's like a slushy
it's more like a slushy, but there's definitely like
milkshake.
a thick it's not. It's like in between a milkshake. It's like a thing that just never existed before.
Yeah.
It's like in between a
It's
slushy
refreshing.
and a milkshake. It is. It's really, really good. I highly recommend it. Now, the tequila one is good. I'll let you know in a few days when I go back.
And I think they nailed the stand. I love the
aesthetics
whatever
of
you
it.
want to
Little
call
bulbs.
it. Yeah, with the blue and green milk in it. I thought that was so cool.
When I came back from California and I told you, I said, Galaxy's Edge feels like Jeddah from Rogue One. Do you get that now?
Yes.
Like these little tight corridors with like
Yep.
this little marketplace vibe. One thing that there were a few parts of the land where you couldn't do much. The Disney Play app isn't up and running yet here.
And there
for
were
ours.
so many little hidden like droids.
Yes.
And
That you can hack
decoding
into
that you
and
can
do that
do
stuff.
and-
And it was raining, so it was a part of the land that kind of felt bare.
Yeah.
The whole right side of the land kind of felt empty.
Yeah.
Because there's no Kylo Ren, there's no
It's
stormtroopers
just-
until we got to talk to some stormtroopers at
it's
one
just
point.
so weird to me that we can go in there now. Because like
Well-
being with you, we used to drive by multiple times a week.
Oh yeah, we've literally watched this construction
Yeah.
from the
From,
day
from when they shut
from
down
when I moved here.
Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, I remember
part.
going when I first moved here, going to Hollywood Studios and seeing, that back part of
We
the land
went to
before
the
they-
Streets of America
we
before
sure
they
did.
closed.
And it was very strange being there. It
It's
feels
so
weird that's the
that
same
it's
place.
here.
It's finally, guys. I'm
No
smiling.
more like lifting your camera above Andy's.
God. There was one part of the land that you could see the Slinky Dog Dash ride from.
Yes, but people are
But
saying trees are going to grow in
they're going to grow.
no
Yeah,
time.
you're going to grow. It's going to grow in 2 years. You're not going to see it. And that's a very,
Also, it's a
very,
theme park.
very minor thing. At a certain point, you have to let it go.
Right.
If you want to hear ridiculous nonsense, go listen to Defunct Lands podcast we do with Rob Plays, because I love Kevin. He's a dear friend of mine. He's like a brother. Seriously, I love him to death.
Super sweet
But
guy.
there are some points he made on that episode where I was just want to be like, I wish I was there right now, because I could be like, what? No, stop it. You're worried that there's people wearing Star Wars shirts inside Galaxy's
But
Edge.
even
Like, you're
him,
gonna have to like.
even him after the second we sat on the tram, he was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
100%. He was like,
That was
that was
awesome.
immersion. Like, I forgot that I was at Hollywood Studios. It's so strange that you definitely feel like you're in a different place. I don't feel that they've ever done an immersive land to that level anywhere on the planet. I just don't. Okay. So after we got enough of that, after we got the blue milk, I was like, okay, that's Oga's. I was kind of giving like the Cliff Notes version of the land, because I wanted you to see the Falcon.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the Resistance store. Yeah, you didn't get to see it yet.
And I was like trying to look at things. You're like, no.
Come on. And then I showed you where the cantina was.
Yes.
And we have a story about that in a little bit. And then I brought you underneath the little archway there, and I was like, there it is, the Millennium Falcon. And you looked
Yes,
up.
we went up the stair. Did we go up the stairs?
There's no stairs. That's when you leave. We walked straight towards it from the cantina.
We went around the stair area. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So you're standing in front of the Millennium Falcon as I would say, very mild Star Wars fan.
Yes.
What did you think?
Incredible. Massive. Just kind of surreal to be like this thing that I've seen in every movie. Well, not every movie, but a lot of Star Wars movies is now parked here in our backyard, essentially. And just the detail on it. Like, you could see blaster shots and just the nicks. It was incredible.
Ours is a little more grimy than the one at Disneyland.
Really?
Which I like. Yeah, like if you look at my pictures from Disneyland and you look at my pictures from here, the front, like where the escape pod pops out in Solo, those little like, I don't know what you call them, like fringe, like finger looking parts
I
of
love
the
that
Falcon.
you could hear it running too.
Yeah, you can see the blue light on the back. One thing that I did not notice that Rob mentioned in the podcast that him and Kevin did was, if you go in right as the doors open to Hondo's, you see the people boarding a ship, but their ship isn't the Falcon. They're like,
the screen behind Hondo?
Yes, it shows a different ship going like, all right, that's your ship, go. You're
like that one's taken off?
Yes. So you're the person that gets to fly. It's not everybody's there. It's not there to fly the Falcon. They're flying
Just
a
happen to be
different
our
ship.
mission.
And our mission is and I love that small little detail.
Oh, cool. And the views you get from that queue.
Anyway, let's talk about the ride a little bit later. So after that, I took you through to Ronto Roasters, and you finally got to try the Ronto wrap.
Place that you've hyped up the most.
I love that Ronto wrap. It is so good to me. It's seriously, even if it wasn't Star Wars, it'd be one of my favorite foods I've ever had at Disney. It's a gyro, but it's just like there's something about it that just tastes so good
and there was
distinct to me.
Beer. I'm trying to look it up right now. I want to say
The name of the beer?
There's 2 beers in the land.
That was a beer you got? It looked like a
Yeah.
cider or something.
Oh my gosh, no. It was a lager. There's 2 beers in the land, and one of them is like a lavender fruity one, and that one's in Docking Bay 7, and I was not interested in that one. This one was the Trandoshan Ale, spiced wheat ale. That was at Ronto Roasters, and did not look like an ale. It was cloudy.
Yeah, it was like I thought it was a cider.
It was so good. Now,
I
I
remember
will
it.
say $13 for a beer, a little excessive when
Everything
I
in
can go
the
to
land's a little
Baseline and get a
excessive.
way bigger beer for $10. But that Ronto wrap, man,
Do you know what a Trandoshan looks like?
no.
I'm looking at that for you so you can
But when
see.
you go to the preview next
You
week,
should
if
know.
you bring a Ronto wrap, I would not be mad if you bring one
I'll
home.
figure that out.
There's a cookbook coming out. Sorry.
I
Side
saw it. We
note.
need to pre-order it on Amazon.
Yeah.
You know who Trandoshan is, don't you?
It sounds familiar.
Bosk.
Oh, he's got an ale now.
Bosk is he
How
gave up bounty
fancy.
hunting to start a microbrewery.
Oh, excuse me. I do want to try the breakfast one. Sounds so good
Yes, it does.
when we go for opening.
Yeah, so then we walked around the marketplace a little bit. Here's the thing about the marketplace. Like, if you're not buying stuff, it's not that interesting.
Yeah.
Just plain and simple. It
Small
is
shops.
gorgeous. And it feels real. And it feels like you're in a Morocco-ish.
If you're
place.
expecting it to be air conditioned like the Walk Breezeway at Disney Springs, it is not that
It is
at
not.
all.
No, it's
I
not
was
in the middle of the
expecting
open.
it to be cooler in there.
No, it's hot.
but it was like
and it
you're
wasn't even
out-
that hot, which is what's
Yeah.
crazy. It's not. I wonder if it's when it gets to a certain temperature, if the air conditioning kicks on.
There's-
It has to, because it was hot as crap, and it was only like 75 outside. When we
Other
went.
than that, there's a lot of air conditioning in the land. The
Yeah.
whole Smuggler's Run queue is pretty much air
Air conditioning,
conditioned.
100%.
So that was awesome.
Walked around there a little bit. Now, something that you've never seen really in Star Wars, there's two things. You don't really see food that much. The only thing I can even think of off the top of my head in Star Wars, as far as food goes, is when Luke is on Dagobah and he's eating like the rations or the MRE thing in his X-Wing. He's looking like eating like a little breadstick
they
looking
sell.
thing. We'll get to that. And then there's a scene in Attack of the Clones where he like force moves a pear, and she like takes a piece out of it and eats it. There's not really food. So that's one of the things I think they may have had like a hard time nailing down was what does food look like in Star Wars?
It's going to
but-
change.
But it has to. But also the bathrooms at Galaxy's Edge. I went to the ones at Disneyland because I have this like weird obsession with looking at bathrooms.
But like they're part of
do
the
it-
land.
Yeah.
They're unique.
I do it everywhere I go. I like go to the
Really?
bathroom. Yes.
I've never noticed that about you.
Yes, you have.
I thought you just like to go to the bathroom.
No, I don't have to go that much. Well, sometimes I do.
It is you.
I think I have Crohn's disease.
Anyway, it's another episode.
Yeah. Brad talks about Crohn's disease. Yeah. So after that, what did we do? We went. Oh, that's when we went over to our appointment for Savi's,
Yes.
and there are issues with Savi's workshop. It is very expensive for what you get. I think the experience could be done a little bit better. I think if they had the guy in the middle who's telling the story be an actual actor, it would probably go better. What are you barking at? Duncan, knock it off. You got water. You got food. Shut up. You're like a.
Do you
You're
want
like
me to
a.
put him on the couch?
Yeah, it's fine. You're like a co-host on this thing where you just complain and bark into the microphone, and people hear you from a distance.
do this all day long.
No, I know. And the second we sit down to record something, he thinks he's missing out on something. It drives me nuts. I think if the person that they did have in the room in the middle was an actor, it would go a lot better, and it would feel a lot more natural and smooth. Because, okay, to be fair, remember, we were there on the second day of cast review, so these guys have not done this in front of a real audience yet. So you kind of have to give them a little bit of slack, which, of course, I do.
It's previews.
It's previews. But I do think a real actor would have done a little bit of a better job than he did. It wasn't bad by any stretch. I mean, there are some cheesy parts of it.
He just overdid it a little bit. At
Yeah,
some
he
points.
oversold it a little bit. I think my experience at Disneyland when I went with Dallin was a little better.
The hood, like that was a little aggressive.
The hood.
When we all walked in, he had a hood on.
Did he really?
Yes,
Oh, I
and then
didn't
when the
notice
show
it.
started, he like stepped forward and slowly put
Everyone.
it back.
Welcome to Savi's workshop.
And was
It was literally like that.
yeah.
It was
and
like
just-
art.
He
art
took it very
night.
seriously, which I mean, some people might appreciate.
There were some things I didn't like. He walked around. And he was like, he comes to me and he goes, "What did you pick? Why did you pick this certain piece?
Little darkness in your
There's a little darkness in your lightsaber." And I was like, I just like the black piece.
We were cracking up at certain points though, and they're like,
Go watch the video.
Kyber crystal calls to you."
The purple one, because that's what I chose before I got here.
You just hear Kevin and I laughing in the background.
There were parts of it that were cheesy, but I think it's going to depend on the person that does your experience.
Yes.
Because I feel like this one was probably about a 5 or a 6.
Do you think?
While the
it's
one at Disneyland, I think was probably a 8 or a 9.
Do you
Like,
think
the guy
it's
was really
gonna-
good?
continuously be popular here?
Here, yes. Disneyland, no. There's
'Cause there's so many
only a
different-
certain number of people who are going to spend $200 every time they go to Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
Now, I want to do another one.
Not anytime soon.
On my preview next week, I'm going to do another lightsaber. Look at your face. You look like you're about to murder me.
Oh, are ya?
I'm kidding. I'm not kidding.
I wouldn't put it past you.
No, I think I'm going to do one eventually again. I want to take maybe Bentley and Brenton to do it together so we could all
Yeah.
have like a family lightsaber. But I love my
Because
lightsaber.
you just want another lightsaber. Let's
Yes,
be real.
That's exactly what it is.
Mhm.
I love my lightsaber. This is not a joke, and I'm not trying to sound funny or use hyperbole. I fell asleep with my lightsaber last night. I was holding it and like,
Oh, I know.
and I was holding it and like I love it. It feels like it's my own. There's a special thing
Like your
that they
own
make
child?
you do. What?
Like your own child. That's how you held it in bed last night.
I literally, I'm not kidding, guys. I fell asleep holding it like I did. I love it. Like, one cool thing I like about it is the middle piece you can pop out and you can replace kyber crystals. We bought all of them. but the red Kyber crystal because I'm waiting to get the black one.
Okay,
Once I get the black one, I'm going to get the red one as
How
well.
many times have you taken that thing apart and
A
put it
billion
back
times.
We'll be watching TV and he's like, click, click.
But you can admit you've done it a few times too.
When you'll take the pieces off of it and hand it to me and be like, do it.
It's satisfying to put it back together, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess, but I'm not gonna like do the activity every day of my life.
I love it. I
It's
put it
like
up. I put it on display
therapeutic for
today.
you.
I put it up on display today. Yeah,
That's so
I really like
funny.
the experience. So then we went around the corner. Well, actually, did we buy the Kyber crystals first?
And I'm glad you love it.
I love it so much.
We did buy the Kyber crystals.
We did.
First,
So we went to
'cause you wanted
Doc.
me
So
to
after
see
that,
Doc
after we
Ondars.
did the Falcon, saw the Falcon, we went and went to Doc Ondars, and I could spend an hour and a half. in
There's
that
so
shop
much
just
to look
looking
at.
in
It's a
that
small
store.
shop, but there's so much to look at.
I feel like I need to go back and look at my videos. That's okay at Disneyland. I feel like the chandelier is a little different.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember, but I feel like it was like higher up than the one we have here. They both look identical. Like it's the same concept.
Yeah.
I've really grown to love Doc Ondar as a character because he's in the comic books.
Do you see him a lot in the comics?
Yeah, he's the main character of the comic books.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Mhm.
Galaxy's Edge one.
Yeah. And he he's just really grown on me a lot, and I really like the character. So I don't know, just being in there and seeing him. By the way, it's still the greatest animatronic that Disney's ever done.
Oh,
Everyone
yeah.
talks about Hondo, and yeah, he's cool, but
Doc Ondar like gets up.
yeah, when Hondo turns around and walks back to the thing too. But like,
You know what's gonna blow all those out of the water? Rise of the Resistance
yep,
animatronics.
100%. The
Like,
Kylo Ren one's gonna be nuts.
Yep.
Then after that, we did the Savi's workshop thing. Then after that, we walked through.
Which do they corral? Just your group goes in that little area? Like, is that what purpose of the little gate?
At Savi's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So Savi's, I've said enough about Savi's. You can see the videos on YouTube. YouTube.com/parkviews with Brad Hughes if you want to see it. It's a really cool experience. I think it loses something if you're watching it on screen versus being there in
Stepping
person.
into it. Mm-hmm.
Because did you watch the video before you went?
Yeah, you had me watch it.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I'm trying to remember what we did after this.
We had your lightsabers.
Mhm.
I feel like we got the food after that.
Docking Bay 7.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we did. Yep.
Yes, we did.
So after that, we walked right up the stairs and went over to Docking Bay 7, which
Try it while you can, because that food's not going to be sticking around.
no, it's not good. So Sean got the ribs, the Kadu ribs, and the ribs were fine. I mean, they're not good ribs.
It's not a lot of food for the price.
No, it's insane. Kevin said he spent $20 on food.
Yeah, he had Kevin got the
No.
pork.
Kevin spent $25 on
Yeah,
food.
he had the pork, but they gave him the chicken first, and he said he should have kept the chicken because it was better.
And he had an issue with like going. So he ordered the pork. They gave him the chicken. He went back up to the person at the counter, and they were like,
They're like,
he's
"Oh,
like,
you didn't-"
he's like, hey, I ordered the pork instead of the chicken. And they were like, you ordered
the
the
tip
tip yip instead. You got the tip yip instead of the
Whatever
whatever
the
they call it. And he's like,
heck. Sure.
just give me I need the chicken. And it was, he said it was like a legit argument, like being like, I don't know.
They were
Yeah,
trying so hard to stay
same
themed.
character. At a certain point, you got to drop it.
It's food. Like,
It's
come
food.
on.
At a certain point, you got to drop it. Like,
Right.
I appreciate theming. Obviously, I love it. But when like someone goes and they come up to you as a cut for like guest experience thing,
Because you mess something up.
you have to drop it. And you can like there should be an agreement between two of you guys. Like, okay, we're people right now. Like, let's talk about it and then move past it. And then once I give you the right thing and you're satisfied, then we hop back into character. You know what I mean? It's again second day of testing.
And they tried the moof juice and some dessert, none of which they said were good.
The moof juice was fine. I had it at Disneyland. It tastes like a
Yeah,
Mai
Sean
Tai
didn't like it.
minus the booze.
Yeah. But their entrees are like anywhere from $16 to like $21, and it's
Crazy.
not a
It's
lot
not
of food.
Sean's food was not a lot. Like here's how little food it was. I felt bad taking a bite of it.
Yeah.
Like for
Yeah.
real. I felt guilty like taking a bite out of Sean's food. You know, I was like, okay.
They're at least going to add a burger to the menu or something. They have to.
Yeah.
Because even that Ronto wrap might be a little adventurous for some people.
My dad won't eat it. Guarantee you.
Really?
Guarantee my dad won't eat it.
It's literally a hot dog with
Yep.
shaved pork and coleslaw.
Yep. I guarantee you my dad won't eat
And
it.
really good ranch.
He might take a bite, but he'll be like, "Meh." Shout out to my
So
dad right
good.
now. He's in the hospital.
Yes.
Love you, Dad.
Feel
You'll
better.
be okay. And then after that, I think we hopped on the Falcon ride, right? Am I crazy? No.
We rode
after
the
that,
Falcon three times, so we bopped around.
We did another lap.
We did Droid Depot.
We did another lap around the land, and that's where we discovered something that I thought was amazing. The crash site.
Oh, yeah, the thing I found in the back.
This does not exist at Disneyland.
I remember
And-
asking you, thinking like
And
you
I was
would
like,
know what
no,
it was.
I had no idea what it was. And so we walked, and this was, and Kevin said this on his Defunct Land podcast, that this was his most immersive moment of the entire experience.
Because you just weren't expecting it. Like,
Yeah,
you literally
we
were
walked
walking
by it, and there's like a crater in the ground.
And you're like, oh, it's in there.
And it looks like there's like ship parts kind of hanging around. And Kevin looked over and he goes, what happened here? And the guy goes, I don't know. Some ship crash landed here.
And this would be if
And
you're
that
coming
was
in
it.
from the Toy Story entrance. It's
Yes,
right on your right hand side.
on your right hand side. And that was it. That was the explanation we got. I later found out that the story is that that's where DJ Rex crashed.
From somebody else.
Yeah,
from another
from
cast member.
somebody else. Yes, but we found that out later. But in the moment, the guy's like, I don't know, some ship crashed here, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because that's the right response, right? Like, I don't know.
liked that whole back area where like the droids were hidden back behind there. There was another restroom.
Mm-hmm.
That was neat.
You know how cool the doors are in this land, though?
All automatic.
It's not even automatic. They slide the right way, like for a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Like it works. Anyway, that's a whole different little part of it. But yeah, so that happened. Then we went to Droid Depot, which is awesome.
Such a cute store. I
It's
love
so
how the
great.
parts are all.
We didn't spend much time in there because we found something and then we kind of went outside and looked there.
It was
but
busy.
It was super
People were
busy.
trying to get out of the rain.
Um,
We didn't go in the Imperial store or the First Order
yeah,
store.
I did at Disneyland, but
did not
it's
here.
small. I mean, it's literally the size of this kitchen. It's not very big.
I was just like, I was so looking forward to the Kylo Ren show.
I know.
I know it's short, like 5-minute show, but
Well,
it's
it's not. It's not though. He like comes down and walks. He's probably out there for 15, 20 minutes walking around.
just to see him with like the smoke coming down.
It's
I wanted
cool.
to see that
I
so
know,
bad.
I know. That's kind of why I hated this. It felt dead. The land
Yeah.
didn't feel alive, but it does when it's.
When we go back, it's gonna be. I think I'm gonna
Yeah,
have a whole different
100%.
experience. When we go back for our pass holder.
Yeah, just a
preview.
few weeks, a week or two, 2 weeks.
Yeah, like we go back on the 18th.
Oh, my dad can come.
I hope
He'll
he'll
be
be
okay.
better by then.
I'm gonna be sad. If
He'll
he
be
can't.
devastated if he can't. He'll come hell or high water.
He'll be
He'll
there.
figure it out.
Push me in a wheelchair. We'll figure it out. But yeah, what were we talking about? Droid Depot. Yeah, Droid Depot is great. It's a really cool store. If you've ever been to the Gag Factory at Disneyland, it's kind of reminiscent of
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
but like with Star Wars parts. And like, there's as a dork, I was watching the things go by, and I'm like, oh, it's a battle droid head. Like, there's little small things that make it feel real.
And they had a ton of stations for people.
Yeah, I didn't see a ton of people building droids.
But they were also
Customer
not.
preview.
They were also not offering any discounts.
Yeah.
No annual pass discount. Nothing.
Nothing.
Which
So that
is-
was cool. And then we went around, did another lap. Then that's when we got on the Falcon ride.
Yes.
Now, we rode the Falcon ride 3 times, and there were 6 of us in our group for 2 of the 3 times we went. The first time we went, we rode with 2 people who were strangers, which pissed me off
because they were
because
supposed to be in the ship ahead.
yeah. And then they didn't, and they waited getting up there. And then so they kind of skipped us when we
Yeah.
should have been the pilots
Yeah.
and able to decide between the 4 of us who was going to do what, which it was you and me in the line at first. And I would have given it to Sean and Kevin,
Yep.
either way. But it just annoyed me that people behind us got ahead of us. And then they're like, oh, you're pilots. And we're like, what?
Yeah.
It was annoying.
that
So anyway, we ended
frustrating.
up after, so that first round, we had pilots. I was a gunner, and you were a engineer,
I
right?
was gunner with
You were gunner with me? Okay.
We kind of moved through everything together.
So talk about, because I've talked about this before. Talk about your experience, because you did you do
You-
auto gunner?
I don't know.
So when you sit down, before you buckle your seat, if you sit down, you can choose between auto or normal gunner. Auto gunner, it just kind of auto targets what you want to do. If you do like manual gunner, there's 3 different blaster points: up, middle, and down. And you can
I
kind
think I
of
did auto.
okay, because you can click you can press the other like the 3 buttons that depending on if a TIE fighter is above you,
Yeah.
you can hit up. If
Yeah,
it's
because I
in the
remember you being
middle,
like,
and
"Ugh, you did
boom.
auto." I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
And and so like that's interesting. I don't know if people know that, but that's a thing that does exist, and you have to do it before you buckle
I
your
couldn't tell
seatbelt.
how to do auto or manual. I just hit
There's
a
a
button.
choice. It tells you it's like as you one
Pay
thing.
attention. I don't pay attention
Well,
to
no,
things.
it's not even that. Like one thing I didn't find that out until we wrote it this time. And
Yeah.
I've ridden it. This is my 6th time riding it.
Yeah.
They don't really do a good job of telling you what you're doing. when
No,
you
they're just
get
like,
in.
sit down, buckle up, sit down, buckle up.
Which I get 'cause
And they're
you're
like,
in a
hit the
theme park.
buttons, hit the buttons. You're like,
And you're like, okay, shit. What button do you want me to hit?
Like, this is literally made for people that just want to pound on buttons. Like, if you want to just hit buttons, Gunner's the seat for you.
Well, Gunner's you just, especially if you do
I
auto.
liked all the seats. I feel like they all had a job.
Something
But
different, yeah. And it felt like you were doing something.
yeah.
Which
Pilot
anyway,
was
we'll get to it in a
definitely
second.
the most fun.
Yeah. So Gunner is my least favorite, I think, of the three because two reasons. First off, you can auto do it and just press that button, and you're gonna kill anything as long as you're pressing the button. Secondly,
That was
in
your
the
least
very
favorite?
first Star Wars, in the very first Star Wars movie, it shows them going up or down the ladder to get to the gunning seats. There's also that ladder on the Falcon. You walk past it. Remember I pointed out to you, I was like, look, there's a ladder that goes up and down to
Yeah.
the gunning turrets. So why now can you do it from the cockpit?
I don't know.
It makes me-
Chewie's done some work on the Falcon.
Blood red mad. Makes me blood red mad. Anyway, so in your first experience, what did you think overall riding it and being a gunner for your very first time?
It wasn't the most exciting ride. But, I mean, I didn't really have high hopes for it. I liked pushing the buttons. But somebody going on their first time, I'm going to want them to be pilot.
Yeah.
Because that pilot, you actually feel like you're doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas gunner and engineer are just like, hit the button now. Da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, it's just, I didn't have high expectations. It's a screen ride.
Yeah. And it's also, to be very clear, not meant to be the flagship attraction.
But the queue was awesome.
The queue's great.
I could walk that queue. And I wish they let you hang out a little bit more in the actual...
Again, I think preview. I
Yeah.
think once you're there,
Some
for real.
groups seemed like they had been there for like a solid 5 minutes, whereas
There-
us, every time we'd get
every
in
time
there,
we
they'd
went
be
there-
like, green group, purple group. We're
Purple
like,
group. We're like,
damn
oh,
it.
God, I can't get a freaking
Photo at the
photo
table.
at the table. It took us 3 times before we could get a photo at the table with all
Meanwhile,
this.
other people were like lounging.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
So then after that, we went and rode it again. We met up with my friend Chris and his lovely wife, and we got to be a group of 6. I will say,
Yes.
you are going to want to ride this with yourself and 5 of your friends because your experience while you're flying the Falcon, it should be a vocal one because there are certain, especially people who've
It was
never
the
done it
most
before.
fun when we were 6
Oh,
people.
for sure. We all
like,
got way too into it.
screaming. It was
We all
so
got
much fun.
The people who were piloting were like, I was like, push the button.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't listening.
The people that we didn't know.
Yeah, and it was like it felt awkward because you didn't want to yell at people you don't know. I feel like if you walk in,
They
you
were
should be like,
taking it like
you should
too
be like,
serious.
who was me?
No, the other people.
Oh
that we
yeah,
didn't
they were
know.
like not having fun with it at all, and like,
That's
look, we're gonna pilot
That's a
this
good
thing.
point. I loved that with 6 people.
I feel
That
like-
ride was so much more fun.
I feel like if you get with a group of people you don't know, you should be like, okay, icebreaker. What's your name? I'm Brad. We're gonna go ahead. Have you ever done this before? No, you haven't. Okay. Listen very carefully to the instructions because it depends on what you do, how this comes out. If I yell at you a thing, I'm not mad at you. I want you to like. I want
I
to
don't
be
know
able.
if you should make friends with strangers for
I
the
would,
ride,
but you know me. I would totally do that.
you would talk to a wall.
I'd be like, you gotta do this. I feel like you need to do it with people you know because if you do it, it's gonna feel like a more communal experience, and you can have way more fun. Be like, press the button.
Yeah.
Kevin, are you back there? Press the buttons. Oh, I'm trying. Well, do it quicker. Like it's
Yeah.
you feel like a crew.
And we were so lucky during the preview. We all got to do every position.
Yeah. And then after that, I got to be the engineer, and I think Kevin and Sean piloted it while you and me were engineering. Is that right? And
Yes.
Chris and his wife were gunners, and then it's switched. Engineering,
Yeah.
engineering gives you the most to do.
Yeah.
Is
You're
it the most
constantly-
enjoyable experience? No, because you're like seeing it out of your periphery, like, oh, these buttons gotta get hit, and you can like hit them, and then look, and then like something else happens. You're like, it's like a distraction, but like you feel like you're doing something.
I do feel like they rushed you on and off the ride, which I get.
I don't
Yeah,
feel
they're
off they
gonna.
did.
I feel like they did. They were like, "All right, come on, go get your credits. Come on, come on." And I'm like, what if I wanted a picture in the cockpit?
I wonder how the credits are gonna work.
Considering
because-
everything you buy in the land is in credits, so people could be like, "I just made 100,000 credits on."
Well, those credits are only gonna be able to be used in the app.
I know.
That would
You
be
know
like-
they're gonna have some more.
You know they're gonna be like, I
Hondo
have enough credits
said-
for the.
Hondo said,
And then that's Hondo said I can get a drink.
oh,
Idiot.
Diddy.
And so then after that, we went back and wrote it again. And I feel like I'm missing something. No, Cantina we did. No. After that, we went over to the cantina.
We
Now,
did the Falcon one more time after we left.
yes,
right? Yeah.
during the cast member experiences, they were giving you options where you could do one of three things.
Just
you
like
could
the
do,
pass holder.
Yeah, just like the pass holder ones. It was one of three things. You could do just the land. You could do the land. So the land means you can explore the entire land
And the ride.
and the ride. Option B was all of that plus the cantina, and option C was all of that plus Savi's workshop. With the rain, I think it deterred a lot of people who were going to be there because ours was dead. The longest we saw the Millennium Falcon ride was 55 minutes, and we walked up to them and we were like, "Is it really 55
We waited
minutes?"
about 20.
And they're like, "Yes." And we got in line, and it was 20 minutes.
Yep.
So it wasn't that long. So I think that was one of the reasons why we were able to actually get into the cantina.
They were taking walk-ups about an hour before the night was over. About 8 o'clock, they started taking walk-ups. And they're like, yeah, you can just wait here. We'll take your name. We'll call you. We waited maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah, probably not even that long.
And it wasn't even that busy in there.
No.
Which was
I love the
crazy.
cantina. It is a super immersive, cool atmosphere. Kevin said he was thinking it was going to be more like Trader Sam's,
Yes.
where like things would happen while you're in there. I didn't really expect
the
that.
bartenders were interacting a little with DJ Rex with like certain songs and things, but it wasn't.
I didn't expect Trader Sam's. Trader Sam's is a tiki bar. It's, they're taking the idea of a tiki bar and Disney-fying it. This was a Star Wars bar to me.
Yes.
I feel like it would have felt cheesy and hokey if like, oh, he ordered the outer rim and like a TIE fighter went by.
That would
and
be constant.
It would be annoying.
Yes.
So I'm glad that they didn't do anything like that, like Trader Sam's it. But that being said, I love Trader Sam's.
And the fact they mix the drinks at Trader Sam's, whereas here it's all pre-made. Which,
Most
yes,
of
I
them are pre-made.
understand
Most
for
of them are pre-made.
volume. We
Remember
saw them shaking
a
a few.
drinks. I don't know what that meant.
I don't think it was anything alcoholic they were shaking.
I think you might be right.
Because everything alcoholic when we walked the bar seemed to be
Pre-made,
there.
which with people who are going to be in there when this opens makes total sense.
My one gripe, though, which was your gripe too,
The price for what you get,
outrageous.
insane.
Like Trader Sam's, I can go get sloshed on one zombie head for $12. This, it was $15.
I don't think zombie heads are $12. You said that earlier. I don't. I think they're not. I think they're way more than that.
Okay, well,
But
regardless,
even so,
it's cheaper.
if it is, you get more with a zombie head than you do
Yes.
what you got. Like I got the outer rim, and it was 2 or 3 sips.
Yeah.
Chris got a jet juice, and they said it was a shot.
It was
It's $15. And we're all just kind of like, these drinks are tiny. And they were good,
Yeah.
but they were very, very small. I don't think we only ordered one apiece, right? Because we were like, maybe we can ride one more ride with the Falcon.
Yeah.
And we're like, I want to pilot it. You've already got one of the best pilots in the galaxy if you ride the ride with me. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Holly. Did we crash at all when I flew
No,
the
but
Falcon?
I was piloting with you.
Yeah, and we did crash because you didn't do up and down right.
Oh, how dare you.
But left and right, did we hit one?
My
thing?
zombie head is $13.
Wow. Okay, you're right. I thought it was
And
more
your
than that.
tropical dark and stormy is $10.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Just to put into perspective how strong those of you have been to Trader Sam's, you're looking at $10 to $13 for a drink.
Wow. So
And now
yeah, they're
you're-
really. My God.
And a beer is like
Do you
7
think
to
that
9.
pricing is going to change and go down?
It's going to be busy. I think they're just being money hungry. Like they know they're going to sell it at that price.
But that, I mean, for what that outer rim, we paid $15 for that.
Yeah. Like I said,
That
if I
is
felt like
insane.
if I felt a little, woo after, I would be like, all right, well,
Yeah,
I
we
feel like I
didn't-
got my money's worth. I felt like I was drinking juice.
No, I did with the jet juice when I had it at Disneyland.
That
I
was the
definitely
tiny one,
oof.
right?
Yeah, but they said that was their strongest one, and I do feel like I got like a little tipsy from that.
Yeah.
I want to go.
This makes
drunk
you want to
drive
go
the
to Trader
Falcon.
Sam's.
Says you want to go back to Galaxy's Edge really badly.
Yeah.
I will say if you're going to Galaxy's Edge and you're trying to do it cheap, quote unquote, you're not gonna have a good time.
Then go get a beer at Baseline and
Walk in. Can you do that? I'm sure you can, right?
yeah, once
So-
the land is actually open. It's just so hard to spend $13.50 on a beer that's so small.
They need food.
Yeah.
They need food. If they had food, it would offset it a little
Definitely get the cocktail the first time at the cantina.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely
bit. It
experience
feels
it.
like it. It feels like you're in Star Wars.
But it's
That
gonna
is one
be-
thing that you can both agree on, right? When you
Yes.
walk in there, you feel like you can see a
It's
Jedi
gonna.
walk in.
That's more of a treat bar. Where Trader Sam's, we can go to Trader Sam's once a week. We'll spend $40 with a drink each and a sushi roll, and
Yep.
like that's something you can do every week. But this place,
I would like to do it once a week. Not
I
gonna lie
wish
to you.
they had, like you said, I wish they had like tapas, like Trader Sam's, as like little handheld foods.
I think this goes into a whole different conversation, but I think once the restaurant there opens, and this is all speculation.
This was meant to be like the
wink,
waiting area, correct?
wink, yes. And I think that's why the menu is the way it is, and I think that's why the pricing is the way it is, because you are meant to be waiting for your experience. So I think 100% that Disney at D23 is going to announce. This is all speculation. I
Where
have
would
no
the
inside
restaurant
knowledge
go in the land?
behind it. If you look there, there's land.
Behind Oga's is what, number 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to do the
So
original
tiny.
intended thing, which was make the Hoop-Dee-Doo in Space show at Galaxy's Edge. I think they're going to announce it. I don't know if that's a secret project that they've been hinting at.
That could be the secret project.
I don't think that's a secret project. I have another idea what the secret project is, and
Yeah.
it's not as grandiose because people are making it super special. They didn't say
Yeah.
special; they said secret. I have my own theories on what that is, but I think they're going to announce this at D23. The land is a success. I am so tired of seeing this crap online because Disney owns Star Wars now. And everything's a failure that Disney does with Star Wars. It's
That's
not.
why people are saying the restaurant's coming to Disneyland to save Galaxy's Edge.
No,
I think
it's
they're
because
just
they're so
fine.
popular and they're overwhelmed that they can't. Here's how overwhelmed they are.
You can't feed
They had
people.
no intentions of. They had no intentions of making Oga something you had to reserve ahead of time. They had zero intentions of that.
Right, that you could clearly tell they had to develop the reservations.
They developed
for the app.
it to do it quickly as possible. It's going to happen here too, and I think it's a great idea because I think, especially here,
14 days out, yeah.
no, I think you have to do it 180 days out.
It's 14 at Disneyland.
Yes, but I think here, because every other dining experiences. Okay, remember this: when Jungle Cruise Skipper Canteen opened up, remember for a while you couldn't make a reservation for it; you had to walk up.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yep.
And it
sure
was
do.
dumb, and then eventually was like, okay, you can do it a week out, and then it was like 2 weeks out, and then it's like, screw
It's
it,
like everything
180 days
else
out.
now, yeah.
You can't have one thing when you already know you're going to Disney World.
Well, dessert
6 months
parties
in
aren't
advance.
180 days out.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
Are they not?
I promise you
What
they're
is
not.
it, 60?
It's like 30 or 60.
Okay, well, that's a specialized thing that 95% of people will never do because they don't know it exists. This is going to have to be a part of this 180-day thing.
But
100%.
it's not a dining experience.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know
It's
about
a
that.
bar. There's no way they're going to have it where everything else on property is something you have to set up in advance and something this sought after isn't. There's no way.
Yeah.
Now, I think they could do a half capacity, half walk up.
Which
Like
is
where
what they
you book,
should do.
where you book, there's whatever availability they have, they split it in half.
Like
and
fast
they go,
pass.
Yes. They go, you have basically make it a fast pass.
Well, that's what they're doing at Disneyland. So you could book 14 days in advance, and then day of, they're also releasing times.
That's perfect. That's exactly what they
Mm-hmm.
should do here. They should, let's say they have, this is way low, but let's say they have 100, this is just for example, they have
Yeah.
100 seats for the day. 50 of those you can book in advance. 50 of those are walk-ups. That should be what they do.
Now, do you feel like you need to go to Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland when we go? Like, do you feel like 14 days out, we're going to make an Oga's reservation? We're
I mean, I
trying a
definitely
lot
want to
of new-
see it while I'm there. Like, it's gonna be hard, especially once it's open here and it's like a normal thing
Yeah.
to go see it. I'm gonna miss it. Like I would miss.
Yeah.
I miss Magic Kingdom, and I am there every day.
Yeah.
Like I do. Today I was like, I kind of want to go ride Tomorrowland Speedway. Like I miss it. Once it becomes part of the thing that I'm routinely gonna see, yes, I'm gonna miss it, and I probably
Yeah.
want to see it in September. But
We're doing some new stuff in September.
there's so much stuff to do.
Yeah.
Like it would be hard to spend more than an hour in there.
Like, I'm not going to want to get a Ronto wrap, but I can go to Rancho del
Well, I would want to get
Zocalo.
one there because of reasons.
Yeah. Here, too.
No, just during preview. Yep.
Well.
Nope. I promise you I'm right on that.
Oh, yeah. But, like, there's just so many things out there that now that I've experienced it, I don't feel the need to go both coasts. And that's what part of what surprised me that they did the exact same thing on both coasts.
Let's talk about improvements they could do to Galaxy's Edge because I think the land is damn near perfect. I think it's
Yeah.
a 9.5 out of 10.
Okay, first thing they can improve on, those poor cast members out there at those like soda stands. They have the tiniest like triangle umbrellas, and these poor people are standing out there in the pouring rain getting soaked. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it was rough.
Which I felt so bad for them.
One thing I would say immersion wise, there's two things that really stand out to me. First off, this is so nitpicky. It's something that I have wanted to.
It doesn't surprise me with you.
But this is something I have wanted. Three things. There's three things I really want them to do. First off, I want to be able to touch the Millennium Falcon
Why?
because it's there and I can see it.
But you see what's happened to Slinky Dog Q because people are animals.
Okay, but that is paint on a plastic wall.
Yeah, but
This is a metal thing that
people will be
if you
taking
scratch
things
it
off of it.
no, they wouldn't be able to do that. It's metal. It's made out of metal. There's no way. But even
Where the
let's
Brazilian,
say
there's a way.
Let's say if they did, it would make it look more worn and it would look better.
No, I think the fence is needed. You're going to have some idiot
just
trying to run up and get in the cockpit.
I just want to touch it
Why?
because I want it's there. Do you know how hard it is to see that thing and know you can't just reach up and touch it because it's too far above you and you can't walk up to it and touch it?
I'll put you on my shoulders next
I just
time.
want to touch it. That's the only if I touched it
That's
once, I'd
so
be happy.
weird.
I know, but if I saw a lightsaber in the land and I was at Savi's and it was like a lightsaber and they're like, can't touch the lightsaber, I need to touch it. I need to touch it. I need to touch the Falcon. If I ever work there, I'm gonna sneak in one night, like climb over the fence and be like, and then run away.
And then your life's complete.
My life is complete. The second one would be, and this is
So weird.
I feel like people are gonna agree with me.
On this next one?
The first one, because I think that's why people got upset about the gate.
Yeah.
You got to be able to, if you can see it and hear it, and it's there, I should be able to touch it. Like just let me touch it. Let me touch it. Anyway, second one. This is a nitpicky thing, but I feel like it's not because their whole thing is about immersion and accurate storytelling. Kylo Ren's helmet should not be Kylo Ren's helmet.
What do you mean? Oh,
And he
'cause
walks-
it's destroyed in the
Yes.
timeline at this point.
It takes place right after episode 8.
Do you think it'll get replaced with a cracked one that we see in the trailer?
Well, I don't know because here's the thing. With everything Star Wars, you have to look at it like a timeline, right?
Ray's in her old costume too, though.
She's in the one from 8.
I thought she was in the 7 costume.
Nope. That's the one from 8.
Oh, I thought it was.
I promise you.
You know better than I do.
I do. That's one from 8. Star Wars is on a timeline, and the way I look at Galaxy's Edge is the way I look at a book. Just because you read a book and then close it, and then events happen after that book, does not change the events of the book.
Fair.
Or a movie, you know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
you watch episode 8, that is a contained story in that time frame that you're watching it. The events of episode 9 do not affect the events of episode 8 when you go back and watch it. Galaxy's Edge is on a timeline. It takes place right after episode 8, right before episode 9.
Where's that girl from?
And I feel like every day it just kind of is the same story over and over again.
Where's the girl from?
What girl?
The girl that you were
Marathi?
like, that's...
We'll talk about her in a second. She's one of the things I loved the most
But
about
where
our
does she fit in
experience.
the timeline?
She is in the character. She's in the prequel sequel trilogy. She is Leia's like number one spy.
Okay.
She is from the Captain Phasma book. That when the Cardinal
So
captures
she
that
fits
girl.
in the timeline correctly?
Yes, 100%. She survives from the book, so she's totally
Even
there.
just seeing her roaming around, I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And
It's
then
awesome.
seeing nobody else, I'm like, "Okay."
Well, that's because
this is the
we had a break
thanks,
for like
rain.
13 minutes in the rain.
Except the
I hate
crazy
rain.
lady with Chewie that was like, "Distract him."
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Trying to get a plan together. I'm like, this is like, okay.
Anyway, and then what was that one?
What's your third one?
Okay, that kind of my third one piggybacks off of V Marathi. I don't know if it's Vi or V. I think it's V Marathi. It could be Vi Marathi because I've only ever seen it in print. I've never heard anyone say it. That little thing of like seeing Chewie and seeing Rey and seeing V or Vi. I say Vi. Seeing Vi Marathi made it feel more real, did it not?
Yes. That's what
If you could see aliens walking around just every once in a while,
like just the people that
have
had
a
like
guy make a lap.
like the people they used to have at Star Wars weekends.
Have 5
Those costumes
dudes.
have to still be around
Have
somewhere.
5 guys walking around.
Yeah.
I don't even know them. It could be
Have them
completely
walk
made up.
into the cantina. How cool would that be?
Yeah. It would add so much realism. I'm getting chills. It would add so much realism to that land
Yep.
that it doesn't have right now.
But how are they going to do that when the crowds come? Because ours is going to be slam packed.
Just don't let them stop. Just let them walk. If
And they're going to
after a
keep the land
while,
at a certain capacity. They're going to
after
control that.
Yeah, after a while, it would just be normal. Like that's the dude that
Yeah.
walks around Galaxy's Edge, and
Yeah.
to me, it's one story, in this contained thing, and every day it's the same story over again. It's the same story. When you ride Rise of Resistance, you're doing that same story over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a timeline, and when you get to that timeline, it starts over. When you get to that timeline, it starts over.
Now, how excited are you to have this 5 miles away from
I
here?
can't explain to you. It's been torture. I almost went to Hollywood Studios after work today just to see if there was anyone I knew walking in that could take me in with them. I'm not kidding.
Or to bring your lightsaber back. We have had a
yeah.
few problems with our Savi's
That's
lightsaber.
true. I've had a few problems with it. There's some pieces that are bent that I'm not happy with. There's
and one
also
of the sounds are not working.
when you put the blade in, I'll show them what I'm talking about. Hold, please.
But I think that would be you should probably try to bring that back. But just be mindful when you do your lightsaber. We've had, what is it, one of your pieces is crooked, right?
Yep.
Or bent, and another one had a huge scratch through it that the lady switched out for us very kindly.
So, Savi's Workshop lightsaber is awesome. I love it. I've been all about this thing. So
It is heavy.
This is, it's heavy. This is the sound it makes when there's a kyber crystal in there, but there's no blade in. Hear it? See, that's not supposed to do that.
Yep.
That's the sound it's supposed to make when you make a kyber. I need to take this thing back. That's the sound it's supposed to make when there's a kyber crystal in there. So this is the sound that it's supposed to make when you put the blade in. Lets you know that it's locked into place.
Yeah.
Boom. Now when you take it out, it's supposed to make that sound again.
Yeah.
So, put the blade in, lock it into place, ignite it, turn it off, take the blade out. It's supposed to do the sound, not that sound again. So I'm having some issues with this thing. I'm going to take it back.
For what you
I might
pay.
even go tomorrow. For what I paid for this friggin' thing, $200.
We have I Love Lucy tomorrow.
For what I paid for this, it should work perfectly, and it doesn't, and it kind of makes me sad.
So Wednesday, we're going to try to bring it back.
Yeah. But I love this thing. It is... I just feel like it's mine. It's very strange. I love it.
I really thought they were going to be a lot chintzier than this, and I
You
see
could
why
bludgeon someone to death with this.
200 still a little excessive.
It's a little excessive, but remember, you're paying for the experience too.
150 would have been a little more.
I feel like $200, but you're paying for the actor to be there would make it worth it.
But like 200, and can I get like a couple extra kyber crystals?
No, you can go to Doc Ondar's and you can watch
And
me spend
buy them.
$70 on kyber
Oh my-
crystals.
yeah.
You were so mad at me.
Heaven forbid we wait.
Well, they're gone. They were sold out
Yeah.
at Disneyland, so don't at me.
No,
All
I'm
right.
at you.
Do you have anything else to say about Galaxy's Edge? Because I have one last thing to talk about.
You have something else to bring up
Yeah.
about Galaxy's Edge?
Yes, I know it's very
I can't wait to
controversial.
get another Ronto wrap.
I think when Rise of the Resistance opens up, a lot of these problems are going to feel like non-problems.
I do want to say something real quick.
Go ahead.
Those stores are tiny in the marketplace. And this like nonsense, like the plush one, was that Toydarian?
Toy Toy Store.
Okay, they had like 4 of each one neatly stacked in there. That is not going to fly when this land is actually open.
Yeah.
There's going to be somebody stocking stuff constantly. Like there's definitely stuff they need to work on, and that might have just been for the preview, but I was like, that's cute.
Let me know how that goes in a week.
Yeah.
Or 3 weeks.
I can't wait to see how this land is going to handle
Function.
crowds.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to look at stuff when it's that busy.
Yes. Disneyland's had the benefit of having all those blackout dates. Disney World's is not going to have
No,
that.
Silver comes back this weekend.
Yeah. So
Like this is going to be
it's opening in the
floodgates.
worst time possible. And
Yeah.
so is Rise of the Resistance because it's right before everyone gets blocked out who isn't Platinum or Platinum Plus.
Yeah.
It's going to be, Silver and all those other ones are going to be
Does
right
Silver
there.
when do they get blocked out?
Silver is...
And Gold get
Silver and
blocked
Gold.
out.
It was 2 weeks at spring break and Easter.
There's
First
Christmas time.
Gold and
It's
2
usually
weeks.
right after my birthday.
I'm trying to say it if you would stop talking.
I'm having a train of thought as I talk.
2 weeks at spring break and Easter, and then Christmas and New Year. So usually it starts around like December 20th.
So you won't be able to get near it anyway.
So it's right near right near that time.
You better be off opening day in August 29th.
Oh, I'll figure it out.
Bradley's changing
Either way.
jobs, locations.
Yeah,
and-
either way, I will be there.
Yeah.
One
What day
way
of the
or the
week
other.
is a Thursday?
Don't know. Yeah,
Might be your new day off.
could be. That'd be great. But
Otherwise,
I
I'll
guarantee
be
you,
visiting
I guarantee you that won't happen.
Batu by myself.
Yep. So okay. One thing I would need to say, I think that Rise of the Resistance is gonna fix a lot of these issues of like why is the resistance there? You're gonna get that story. I don't know how I feel about the entrance being right there, though.
Do you think people are waiting? Do you think people that had their
Yes.
trips planned for August are now like, well, crap, this ride's not open until December. We're going to go in December.
I think the average person doesn't know the difference, and I think they're not going to even know there's a second ride there.
What
Quite
about
honestly.
like the Star Wars fans?
Well, before Celebration, I would have said yeah. I think they would have known the difference.
Like
But
you, if you didn't live here,
I'd be waiting
you'd be waiting till December.
100%.
And you're
I'm
like,
not missing Rise.
hard.
If you told me like I couldn't go back until I rode Rise of the Resistance,
Interesting.
I'd wait.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought you would have been like, I would have been here opening day. I need to see
No, I
the
would have
land.
waited because that is the thing I'm most excited from
And
Star
you're
Wars
actually
ever.
seeing the whole land.
Well, not even that. Like if I had one trip to make and I had
Yeah.
to encompass everything in one trip, I wouldn't have gone to Disneyland before it opened.
I think we'll still be crazy opening day though.
Rise of the Resistance?
No, I'm talking about the land.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
It's gonna, even if it's mainly locals. I mean,
I was talking to a guy yesterday who was saying that they were coming back for the previews for those 4 hours. Like they lived in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
They were flying down. People are really excited.
because they know it's gonna be the least.
And he
crowded
asked me all the
it'll
time. I was
be.
like, I was at Disneyland open day. He was like, "Is it amazing?" I was like, "It's unbelievable. You're gonna freak out."
Yeah.
If you're a Star Wars fan on any level, like you know who I really can't wait to bring here? My friend Justin.
I can't wait for your dad.
My
to see
dad,
your
too.
dad's reaction.
My dad's gonna be underwhelmed,
You think so?
100%,
Why?
because both rides aren't open.
But he knows that he's coming in. He
I
knows
think
that, and he's still like
He's
so
he's
excited.
gonna go. It's awesome, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna get.
Well, the
full
canteen is not really
scope.
going to speak to him.
That is exactly why the
He's
food's
not
not going to
build
speak to him.
a lightsaber.
He's not doing this, so he's going to miss out on a lot of the cool experiences that
Yeah.
are there because he doesn't drink and he doesn't
Eat
eat
weird
crazy food, and he's not going to want to spend $200. You know what? My dad might surprise us. He might spend $200 on a lightsaber. I could see him doing it.
Yeah, I could see it too.
I could see my dad surprising us and be like, "I'm not going to drink. I may as well do a lightsaber." You know?
Well, we have the cantina for that preview, so
I think they would still let you do it.
yeah. Because they weren't being strict on like, oh, you have Savis, okay, this is this, and you better.
They
be
gave us
there.
they gave us a time,
yeah.
but I guarantee if you're like, "Can I come back in an hour?" They would have said yes.
well, like the confirmation emails, like if you sign up for this, you will pay this for the, and like nobody would have known the difference.
I would have known.
So I'm sure they would have taken walk-ups,
But yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say 9.7 out of 10. I think okay, hang on. Let me be more realistic. I would say factoring in all the food and the
gone
current state of Galaxy's Edge, as much as I love it, I would say it's probably like an 8.5
yeah, there's room for improvement.
for sure. And I think Rise of the Resistance is going to be a whole point of that improvement. I think it'll be
Yes.
9.5 once that opens.
Would you have liked Docking Bay 7 more if they had your fries?
Yes. Fries?
Those
What
duck
fries?
fries from Galactic Nights?
Those were good, but I think they just need something that feels
quick
normal.
service.
like this feels normal. Like the tip yip is chicken. Like just call
With a
it.
beet coleslaw.
Just
like,
call it like
what?
Trandoshan chicken or something. Like why do you have to?
There's Trandoshan beer. So.
Well, then the Trandoshans do a lot of things. They make microbreweries. They have chicken farms. I don't know. I just feel like there's a few things they could improve on that side of things. The food is not great. Short of the Ronto wrap, what would you want to try again?
Like if I had to try something new,
But short of if the Ronto wrap didn't exist, is there anything on that menu you'd want to try
the
again?
fried chicken would be the thing I would get.
Try again. Of what you tried, because you tried the pork. You
No.
tried you didn't try any of that.
No.
Oh, I did.
I had the
I
Ronto
wouldn't.
wrap.
I wouldn't want any of it.
Really?
Mhm.
Kevin said the chicken was good. But like they come with weird sides. Like I'm not coming to a theme park looking for Brussels sprouts and beet salad. Like really?
And the blueberry muffin, but that's directly from The Force Awakens.
It made me want Satuli because I'm like Satuli is so much
Like
better.
Satuli does it right. Like just call the chicken something different and make the
Yeah.
bowls.
And you pick your sauce, pick your meat, and like it's still weird
I
custom.
bet you
food.
that comes sooner than later.
I
The build
hope.
your own bowl.
I miss Satuli. We need to go back to
It's good.
Satuli.
Yeah, I'm ready for Rise.
Yes, it's gonna add a whole new level.
I'm gonna buy a Rise of the Resistance shirt probably this week.
How bad do you think the line for opening day is? Is
To
opening?
get into the land, well,
Do you think we'll have some sort of virtual queue? Just your thought. I think they'll be.
if
stupid
I
they
had to
don't do one. guess, hands
guess, hands tied behind my back with no prior knowledge, Yeah, I'd say they're going to do what they did at Disneyland with the virtual queuing system, if I had to guess.
Okay, so this is because I'm an idiot, but virtual
God.
queuing, does that mean we fill up the land in the morning and then we create the queue?
I
or
believe
does
so.
everybody just get the virtual
Nope,
queue?
I believe they rope drop. Whoever's in
So
there,
we could
once
still
they hit a
line
certain,
up.
once they hit a certain thing, and this is truly just a guess. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Oh, so it's not a dumb question.
Once that hits capacity, like think about like some Roast My Train. Once that queue hits full, they'd cut it at the entrance and go and come back in an hour
Yeah.
or whatever. But you'll go on the app and you'll say, I want these 4 people to get in line.
Yeah, otherwise it'd be stupid, like automatic.
Cool,
Oh,
you're
we're
in
in, we're
line.
in, we're in.
And also, I don't think it's anything groundbreaking that I'm saying that they're going to have a virtual queuing system. I'm sure people
They're going to
assume
have
that.
to.
It makes the most sense.
The only thing that's
When
gonna
you're already
help,
linking everything to the My Disney Experience app to begin with, this is not a hard thing to ask.
you know what I didn't realize? I'm pretty sure the opening weekend is also Labor Day weekend. So kids would have been in school here.
Oh, crap. Are you serious?
Yeah, the second's Labor Day.
It's 29th.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
the
Thursday, 30, 31, 1, 2. Yeah, that's Labor Day weekend.
Oh, crap.
So, yeah, the kids will be in school Thursday, Friday. The local kids up north, they're not in school yet. It is interesting. Do you think that's going to affect it at all that we're going into the school year? Because after Labor Day is when everybody up north.
No, because if I'm a dad with 2 kids, and if I didn't live here, I'd go, we're getting out of school. We're going to Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. Huh. We shall see. We'll be there for the madness.
I'll be
Even
there.
if we're just sitting on Grand Avenue watching.
Yeah. No, I'll be there. One way or the other.
Like going before work and get in the virtual queue and then go to work. Meet you there.
Okay, guys. That's our wrap-up of Galaxy's Edge cast member previews for Galaxy's Edge
Got some
at
cool
Disney
maps.
World. Got some cool maps. Yeah. I got nothing else to say about it other than I can't wait to go back.
You have to experience for yourself. We could talk all day about it. But
Yeah, and also I do want to say this. Don't let my opinion or anyone else's opinion deter you from going to see this land, because as much as people can be super cynical and negative about things, I sometimes go over the top the other way because I love all this stuff so much. But I'm not alone in thinking that Galaxy's Edge is one of the greatest things that Imagineering has ever done. I think it's brilliant. I think there's nothing it lacks other than a few small touches. And I think you need to experience it for yourself before you have an opinion on it. Pictures do not do this land justice.
No.
When you see the castle, you can kind of extrapolate and go, okay, it's the castle. When you see the Millennium Falcon in pictures, you don't get it. And you can attest to that now because you've seen
the
it.
whole land. You don't get it. Even on FaceTime with you being in Disneyland, like it's just you have to be there.
You got to be there. You don't get it. But that is it. Go check out Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland or Hollywood or at Hollywood Studios. Comparing the
So
two
weird
lands,
that
I
it's
think
here.
I know. I think ours is a little bit better. There's some wider parking or
Really?
stroller parking areas that don't exist. There's like the crater thing. The colors are a little more vibrant, which I think was probably just because of the
For
sun.
a reason.
Well, I don't know. California gets hot too. The sun's pretty brutal there, but not like it is
Not
here.
like here.
I think that's probably just overcorrected, which I think was a smart move. Because when you walk into Galaxy's Edge of Disneyland, it kind of seems, and not in a bad way, it just feels kind of beige.
Yeah.
Ours has some color to it, and the spires have some color to it, and I like
Mm-hmm.
it. So yeah, I think ours is a little bit better. And I'm
Looking
not just
at-
saying that because I live here, because there's pretty much every attraction at Disneyland I like better than what we
Looking
have
at
here.
Rise of the Resistance, that like background of mountains
insane.
reminded me of Cars Land.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's nuts. All right, guys, that is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for listening. You can follow me on Twitter at Views with Hughes. Please check out and subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/parkviews with Brad Hughes. And that'll be it. We'll see you guys on the next episode of the show here. And I'm going to say something that Kevin hates very much. Till the Spire.
I hate it too.
I know. I'm the only one that likes it.
So silly.
It is silly. It's silly, but it's fun.
Yeah. Sure.
It's silly.
Yeah. They say it's. I think what bothers me, they say it's so serious.
Till the Spire.
I'm like, okay. Bright
It's like goodbye, though. It's like, see ya. Till the Spire.
Bright moons. Is that what's that?
Rising moons and bright suns.
Everyone.
Bright suns.
Rising moons.
Bright suns.
Rising moons is nighttime, Bradley.
Rising moons, Holly. Till the Spire. Say it.
No.
Say it.
You will never.
I'm not ending this podcast till you say it. Say it.
Nope.
Till the Spire.
Rising moons.
Say it.
Signing off.
Say it.
No.
Say it one time.
Nope.
Say it. I'm not ending this podcast till you say it. You can awkwardly drink your drink and look at me with your little squinty eyes. I don't care.
How dare you?
You squinting at me. Say it.
Bright suns.
Till the spire.
Rising moons.
Say it.
I hate it.
Say it.
Till the spire.
There we go.
Stupid.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Park Views with Brad Hughes. Thank you for downloading. I will see you guys next time. But before we leave, don't forget, follow me on Twitter and Periscope and Instagram at Views with Hughes. And rate and review the show on iTunes and Stitcher. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.